Cole Caufield had a big press conference today to discuss his injury, when it first happened, and some other details surrounding it. I'll be talking about that. Plus, after some new Pierre Luc Dubois news comes out today, I'm going to discuss whether or not Montreal should make a run at him. Finally, I'll be talking about a little bit of a Habs injury update, just how unlucky we are, all in this edition of Habs Digest. Hello, bonjour, ahoy, and welcome to today's news edition of Habs Digest. I'm your host, Josh Gosse, and before we get into the video, quick reminder to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. If you're a new or returning viewer who hasn't hit that button yet, it'd be greatly appreciated. Topic number one today, Cole Caufield speaks out on his shoulder injury. Now, as we all know, there's been a lot of news surrounding Cole Caufield in the recent days, from being ruled out for the season to, he's had this injury for 6 months, and a lot of criticism of Habs training staff and all this stuff. But a little bit of news came out today when Caufield himself got to speak on his injury, and I have a few quotes to show you guys. Number one, Cole Caufield on how he injured his shoulder. Quote, just an awkward fall, and I kind of put it back in myself a couple seconds later. It wasn't too bad. The second time was in Nashville. Same thing happened, but that time it was more painful. So we know, I believe it was against Dallas where it first happened, and he just kind of popped it back in. And against Nashville it happened a second time, and he said it was more and more painful, but he could play through it. And funnily enough, after that second game against Nashville, I think he had 7 goals in his next 12 games or something like that. He went on a tear. Clearly it wasn't bothering him too much, which is a big thing to take away from this. He wasn't just playing because the Habs training staff said he could. He was playing at a high level still. So that's one thing to note. I also wanted to show you this one. Quote, for sure if we were in a playoff spot, no doubt in my mind, I'd still be playing. It really wasn't up to me to stop playing, but with the right circumstances, I feel like this is the best decision long term. And that is a sentiment I 100% agree with, because as we all know, Cole Caufield was on almost 50 goal pace despite this injury, and even in the games after the injury first happening, Cole Caufield went on massive tears of goal scoring. This guy is capable to play right now. Like, he would be able to play and still be our best goal scorer, even if his shoulder was at 50%. But he understands. This is a year where we got Team Tank rolling. He's not going to openly say it. No one is going to openly say it. Even Gary Bettman says no one tanks anymore. No one is tanking because of the new draft lottery odds. But let's be honest, with Montreal's injuries, we're not really gunning for a playoff spot at this point. Now, we're not trying to lose, but keeping Caufield out long term, he understands it's good for the team. Not just himself, which it is great for himself long term, but himself, his contract, and the team. In the long run, it'll be a lot better if Cole Caufield sits out, even though he could be playing right now. And I mean, he seems in good spirits about it. I just want to show you guys this little picture too. The Cole with the big hat next to Jake Evans at the game. I saw another picture of Christian Dvorak wearing this hat. So, and I mean, even in the interview, like, he seemed in good spirits. This is just a nice little bright spot, right? Some bad Cole Caufield news. We know he's going to be out for a while, so take a look at that Cole Caufield picture. Hopefully it made you smile, and we'll move on to the next topic. Topic 2 today. Should the Habs go after Pierre Luc Dubois? I mean, this topic is rehashed over and over and over again. It's probably on every hockey YouTube channel you see, Pierre Luc Dubois to the Montreal Canadiens and all this stuff. And there's articles coming out every day. And in an article today, there's a quote. I'm not sure how old the quote is, but I decided to show you guys anyway because I think it's interesting. So maybe you have seen this quote, maybe you haven't. But, quote, there's a blazing fire here, said Nick Kyprios while appearing on the Tim and Friends podcast last week. So I guess this is about a week old. He is not staying in Winnipeg long term. There is nothing that can change his mind from what I'm hearing. Now, again, this isn't new news, but it's a bit of a slow news day today. We had the Caufield press conference, and I wanted to just take the opportunity because I haven't really mentioned, and myself nor Jesse have mentioned Pierre Luc Dubois on the show very much, if at all, this season. So I wanted to take a minute to talk about this. I think Montreal should go for him in free agency, no doubt. I don't think we should make a trade for him. And I know we had Georges Larac on I think it was a French network. I forget which network it was exactly. But he said if it was Kirby Dach for Pierre Luc Dubois 1-for-1, he would do it in a heartbeat, in fact. That I don't agree with. I think Kirby has been way too good for us to pass up on his future potential. Now, I know, here's the thing, right? We fall in love with the players that are young, the players that, can develop into something amazing. But then there's also that joke. It's like, Kirby Dach could turn into anything. He could even turn into Pierre Luc Dubois. Right? So at the same time, Pierre Luc Dubois is a very skilled offensive player, like very high point getter with a physical brand of play, and that is what Kirby Dach could turn into. However, Kirby Dach seems to have an extra level of aggression and a bit of more passion towards the game. Now, I don't want to go questioning Pierre Luc Dubois' passion towards the game, but there's no doubt he's had some attitude issues. He's had some issues with the teams he's been on in the past, and maybe some plays where he doesn't give a ton of effort. And Kirby Dach really hasn't shown that for Montreal, so I wanted to touch on that. I think it was Georges Larac who proposed that. I don't think we should trade Dach for Dubois. I think we should just wait. I think we should be patient. I don't think there's any need to rush bringing Dubois over to Montreal if that is a real possibility that Kent Hughes and Jeff Gorton want to go after. I think that if he wants to come here, he'll make his way to Montreal in the long run anyway, right? And I'm sure no one will be hesitating to sign him if the price is right and if the team fit is good, right? Dach projects as a long-term center, so does Suzuki, and Dubois is also a bit of a center. Now, maybe we can move Dach to the wing, although he looks better at center. Dubois, maybe, who knows? But I think that's more of a long-term issue, and I see all these videos coming up now, oh, they should go after him right now, trade for him. No. Let's be patient with Pierre Luc Dubois, because while he'll be amazing long-term if Montreal manages to get him, I don't see the need to bring him in now. I don't think we'll be contending next year. Maybe we'll be closer to a playoff spot, but I don't even really expect a playoff spot next year unless we have a huge stroke of luck with all our health and our players all go up a tick in performance. So that's all that's to say. Be patient with Pierre Luc Dubois. All these rumors are coming out now. People are writing articles, and I think we should just wait. Simple as that. Final topic for today. Little bit of an injury update. The injury bug is going around the Habs locker room. After today, it was announced that Joel Edmundson is day-to-day, which is kind of good, right? That's good. We saw him leave last night injured, and oh my god, not the panic, just the sadness set in. Like, oh, another injury, and we were going to try and trade him, and this and this. But no, Joel Edmundson is only day-to-day. But we also had this bit of news. Kirby Dach, Christian Dvorak, and Nick Suzuki will not participate in today's practice because of, quote, treatments. Strange, because Kirby Dach has now not participated in the last 3 practices, but the Habs haven't said it's an injury, because why would they, right? If he's not really injured, he's still playing in games, but one was a maintenance day, one, I think maybe a second might have been 2, and today it was treatments, the reason he missed practice. He looked like he was laboring a little bit last night, not too much. Christian Dvorak, however, looked like he was hurting a little bit last night. Maybe more of just a maintenance day for him, just to make sure he's rehabbed, ready to go. And Nick Suzuki, in the recent weeks, he's played a little bit slower. I don't know if it's an effort thing, which I really doubt it is, because it's Nick Suzuki, let's be honest. I don't think he's going out there giving half his effort just because. I think maybe he might have something lingering too, but I don't want to speculate. I just wanted to let you guys know that Suzuki, Dvorak, and Dach, 3 guys who maybe you've noticed, except for Dach, I guess, have been, a little bit different on the ice, a little bit slower. They don't have that same first step as they did earlier in the season. I don't know if this is just a health thing or if it's something to be concerned about, but it's another little bit of injury news that's just piling and piling up. Of course, the Edmonton news is good, but Sean Monahan was in a non-contact jersey earlier this week skating, but no one has seen him at any practice since. He hasn't even participated in the next few. I think it was 3 weeks ago that we got an update saying he was about 2 weeks away. That's a little bit concerning because there's a lot of teams looking out for him, as we mentioned in a previous video. Maybe the Colorado Avalanche, and those rumors have been spiraling out of control recently, saying the Avalanche are really going after Monahan. But if he can't come back healthy, I don't know, because he's still sidelined. We don't really know what's wrong. We don't really know the severity. He's coming back and then leaving practices and then not showing up to the next ones because of injury. The Habs are keeping pretty tight-lipped about him, and I'm sure that's because they're looking to find a trade suitor, and if there is something seriously wrong with him, they don't want that to leak into the press so that other teams are going to stop coming and asking about him. So anyway, just another little injury update for you guys in the Dach, Dvorak, Suzuki situation, and a bit of Monahan news. Not great news, but it's something to keep an eye on as the weeks go on for sure. But that'll do it for this news edition of Habs Digest. If you guys enjoyed, please leave a like, comment, subscribe to the channel. We really appreciate all your support, and that'll do it for today's video. I'm your host, Josh Gosse. We'll catch you in the next one.